don't smell.
No.
That's good. I don't either.
That's good.
I don't either.
Is there a knife there? Could you give me a knife?
That's
it's
a
cool,
knife.
it's cool, it's cool. Cheers. Oops, oh, sorry.
Good shot.
Sorry.
Jane.
No, I'm fine. Thanks.
Okay. What's meillä? You got some medicine.
I'll take these after the interview.
Yes, better, yes.
Okay. You're ready.
Okay, yes. So you have some problems with your voice, or?
Yeah, well, I've like had a cold. Is the tape running? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, I've had a cold all week, you know, and it's just been a really bad week for me. You know, like Monday I was meant to go to Sweden, and on Sunday night I went to get petrol in my car. I started shaking like this, you know. So I got a real bad flu, and then yesterday I got this. Well, in Ireland we call it a frog in our throat, and it's like you're coughing all the time, and you're trying to get up phlegm, and it's still there, and then a doctor seen me this morning, and he just said that I'm not to sing, and I'm not to do interviews, but I said I'd do the interviews. I'm just such a nice, kind, caring, loving person.
Should you have some concerts, or?
Yeah, oh, well, not at the moment. The next gig I play is next Sunday. It's in London. It's for a benefit show for disabled children who want to become musicians. And every year they give two prizes. Like one this year it was to Eric Clapton, and then it's for somebody out of a record company. So it's an artist and somebody out of a record company. So.
Okay, let's hope you'll feel well that time.
Let's hope so.
Okay, then to your career. You started your career when you were 12 years old, or how was that?
I got into a band. Some friends of mine. We went to school together, and you know, one day we were just jamming, and we wrote this song, and that was really it. And then we just got more musicians into the band and took it from there, and then we started playing, and then I left that band and I got into another band, and then I went to boarding school, and then I did that for 3 years, and then the commitments came up.
Yes, and that meant a lot. That meant a lot to you.
It did, yeah. It was a wonderful vehicle. Excuse me, for my career. It was very. You know, I wouldn't be here speaking to you today only for the commitment. So, it's a project I'm very, very thankful of and very proud of.
It was 3 years ago, and only now you have your record album.
Yeah, well, the reason why it took so long is because, you know, if I brought my album out 1.5 years ago, I just would have been competing with the Commitments album. And plus the fact I was very tired. You know, when you make a film, it's like 3 or 4 months you make it, then it takes 5 months to edit it, then it takes a month to bring it out, and then it takes about 3 or 4 months to promote it.
Boys.
So, so after all that, you know, I was really tired, and then to go straight in and make an album, and I didn't have material either. And you know, when you're 16 years of age, you know, and you know, you can't just go in and bring out an album, and so, you know, I waited, and there was so much hype around the Commitments. You know, if I brought my album out then, I would have been just competing with the Commitments album, and it would have been ludicrous, because to compete with an album which has a vehicle of £14 million behind it, fine, if my album had a vehicle of £14 million behind it, well then, I'd bring it out, but, and if I didn't want longevity in my career, I would have done it too. I would have brought out a quick album and capitalized on it, but I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be in this career this time 20 years.
So how long did it take for you to make this album?
Well, to actually make the album, it took 2 months. But there was a long process of meeting producers and well, basically just different producers, you know. I probably met every producer in the world, you know. But I met Danny Korchmar and felt he was the right guy, you know. The thing about it is when you have a producer producing your album, you have to build a relationship with one another. And that's what we did, and he's a very cool guy to work with, and I enjoyed immensely working with him.
How would you describe this album?
I would describe it as an R&B rockish album, not rock, rockish. A lot of people say, you know, there's soul, you know, there are elements of soul in it. But you know, you can't call an AC/DC song a soul song. And I purposely went out of my way to do that, because I've already made 2 albums of soul albums. And I just want to prove to people that I can sing other types of music besides soul music, and I think this album is a clear indication of that. And I love listening to R&B rockish, you know, and that's what I class AC/DC, a good R&B rock band with great songs. Excuse me.
It's for us all. I've read that Bryan Adams, he has taught you.
Yeah. Well, I was doing an Australian tour, and it was like, what, 25 shows or something. And I was on, after my second show, I was at the airport. I was in one of these golden wing lounges or something. And I was up getting a drink, and this guy goes, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "Wow." I says, "How you doing, you know?" And he says, "Fine." And he says, "How's your voice?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay." He says, "Do you do exercises?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, listen, come to my show tonight, and I'll show you some stuff." So I came to the show, and he showed me these exercises, which I will not do because you look like a complete goon. But they really worked. And he says to me that night, you know, after the show, he says, "You're not going to do them, are you?" I says, "I will do them." He says, "Okay, well then tomorrow night, you come back up to the show tomorrow night, and we'll sing a couple of songs together on stage." And I'm like, "I'll definitely have to do it now, don't I?" So I came back the next night with my brass section, my backing vocal singers, and we went and we did these exercises, and then we went on stage, and then he says, "Hold on. So I'll bring on your band first, and then I'll bring you on." And this is set in Australia, and the Commitments album is 6 times platinum out there. And the place just went completely berserk. And he is the sweetest guy. He's such a very nice guy. He's a great singer, and I have an awful lot of respect for him. And I probably wouldn't have got through that tour without him showing me those things. So I'm very thankful to him for that.
What kind of a man is Andrew Strongen at home?
When I'm at home, I just like to, you know, chill out and, you know, socialize with my friends. Not a lot of socializing, because when I'm on the road, I'm doing a lot of socializing. I'm meeting, you know, like different parts of the world, people from my record company, and you know, people want to say hello, and you go out to clubs and stuff. So when you do that on the road and you come back, you're kind of tired of that. All you want to do is kind of just chill out. So I just go home and chill out with my family, and excuse me, that's really it, and go out and have a few beers.
When do your future? More albums, more concerts?
Yeah, definitely. Well, my European tour will probably start in November, and no, it is starting in November. Positive thinking here, Andrew.
Shall we see you here in Finland?
Finland, I don't know. Well, apparently I was told that there's some promoter here trying to speak to my agent about getting me over here. But as far as playing, they say here is part of Scandinavia, and then some people say it's not. So I don't know what to say here. So, but I'm playing in Oslo. But I don't honestly know when I'm playing in Finland. But I know that people are talking about it right now at the moment.
Then you have 20 seconds to sell your album to those people watching you now.
Well, basically, if you like my voice and the Commitments, you'll really like this album, because I think my voice is a lot more mature and I'm a lot more mature as a person. And I think it's a great song, and they've got... Oh, sorry. You're going to edit the shit out of this, right? Okay. I think it's a great album. I think there's great songs, and, you know, I think you'll enjoy it. Go and buy it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So after the
Finish with this promo tour now. For Europe, anyhow.
Did you travel a lot before this career of yours?
Yeah, I travelled, you know, my parents used to go on holidays every year or so. I went on holidays with them, like, I lived in the States in 1979, I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, I lived in Las Vegas, been in Germany, France, Spain, Portugal. What about these here? These ones here too?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's perfect.